two, three. It's AVTPro, Advanced Visualization Technology Productions, Alonzo von Threet. And what I want to show you today is this rig. I want to continue the discussion on this rig. And I did a little history lesson because I want to let you know how the different applications or software became involved in the creation of this character, and but not necessarily as a workflow that is needed to get this type of work done. I would do it all in one application, but when I was creating it, I used several applications. One, because they were becoming available and they were under development, and so as they become available, I used them to create this character. But also certain tools weren't really the best for this. So when I started, I used Form Z to do a head, not this head. It was another head. I actually have photos of the old head. It was a Rugrat head. But I always wanted to replace it. And I did it in Form Z, but after I got it done in Form Z and finally got some kind of understanding of poly modeling, then I moved to EI Modeler, which was supposed to be a more organic type of modeler for this type of character building, which it was. And also it tied into electric image for morph targets and animation. So that was one thing why I wanted to, another reason why I moved to that. But then, because of the license issue, that software was discontinued. I then used ZBrush. I used Maya to do the UVs on this, and then I learned Maya. And so it was my growth as a character developer and a 3D computer graphics character development. So it was mainly my growth because I think at the time they were doing everything in Lightwave, which was on a PC and I was on a Mac, and it really wasn't available. But when it became available, I still didn't know that particular program. So, but anyway, as I was saying, I used Form Z and then Electric Image Modeler, and then I went to Maya and I learned through FBX, which Electric Image was developing at the time, and for motion capture and all that sort. And then I learned motion capture rigging, and I did a couple of tutorials on it. I don't know where they are particularly right now, specifically right now, but those were part of the development process. Also, I used ZBrush to do the painting for this. So once I got the UVs, the whole idea for me to learn UVs was so that I can paint better textures. So I had a success with that, and as you can see here, I'll just show it without, let me take this off. And so you can see it, and also you can see the rig or part of it, the IK. So those I'll just move that right now. So I was very happy to get a pseudo kind of paint job, and what I liked about ZBrush is that you could paint directly on the surface. At that time, there was a small electric image program that Richard Lanehart, God rest his soul in peace, taught me. He taught me this program or demoed this program called Mesh Paint. So I used Mesh Paint and I understood the value of painting directly on a 3D surface. It's just like painting on a 3D surface. So that is why I really like this suit. But what I'm finding is now that I'm used it for the motion capture, is that the feet are too big, and that's the true discussion of this vlog here. And so I want to talk about that. So when Electric Image was developing the FBX, and kudos to Blair Bertan at the time from Northern Lights, when they developed that, they made the FBX, and I had to learn the skeleton for that. And what I found I'm able to make the skeleton on my own. I think that's always the best. But again, as development goes, new tools become available. So a new tool I want to talk about is the HIK. And so HIK is a human IK, and it's a part of Maya that you just selected here, and you have a interface that has a human character, and this one is already characterized and rigged, but it's kind of close to what is in MotionBuilder. So I can select the different. You get a control rig, and then character definitions on it. So as you can see, I can select all the different parts of the character here. And it's really detailed. And it's very good. And so it's very elaborate. It's very good use for a motion builder. So, and that's one thing about motion builder and motion capture is a quick way to add very realistic um, animation to a skeletal structure or a 3D character. I also have a motion capture system. I've been looking for space in Buffalo to kind of set it up. I haven't set it up. I did something with the Langston Hughes a long time ago, but that was as the building was discontinuing. I see they have the thing with things rising and falling really quickly and trying to get my space in it, but which is amazing. Anyhow, I want to eventually hook this up and hook up motion capture with it. But there's two things. As I was developing as a 3D character rig technician or rig tech or TD as they would say, which I quote unquote, because I don't think of myself as an actual TD. I just think of somebody who can really just rig and get my rigs done for my characters. But I've also helped people, and I develop a rig tutorial series. And so there's so much to involve, and you have to wear so many hats that it's hard to actually put your finger on one, because as soon as I learn one, I have to go to another. So, but with that said, is that I've usually developed my own rigs and stuff like that. But now they have this human IK system where you can do this in Maya, and it has a skeletal system that you can make a skeleton. So let me put this back. So you can make your skeletons and define your skeletons, and then once they're defined, so if I click this here, there's a relationship between that and that. And once you assign all these, and it goes into the hands, and it's really well done, and the actual parts of the spine and everything, the neck. And so it's very elaborate, and you don't have to know as much as rigging, and you can get a rig done really quickly because of that. But so it avoids the skeletons, the rigs, and then it's a full body IK. And when I say full body IK, what I mean by that is that you can what did I do with my let me pull this back up. Okay, here, go here, and actually I gotta turn it on here. So you can select one joint, or let's say the hand, and pull on it, and the energy of that pull will go throughout the whole body. And so if I grab it here, it pulls the arms, the legs, the hips, transfers through the knees with just pulling one object. Where in general, you have to move a body part, and only that body part would move in most rigs, and that's the extent of it. And if you want to move the hips, you have to move it. So this gives you, you have IK here, and in the arms is where we usually have our IK. But the IK actually goes through the spine, and so that if you pull any particular part of the body, it'll work as well. So it's really nice. It's a real good way of getting into this quickly, and also moving over to MotionBuilder. So that's the reason why I'm doing this vlog, because even though this works really great for and even though I can make my custom rig, so this is a custom skeleton, But you could do this with the regular skeleton that comes pre-built with it, which I was gonna show you here. You have to go and create skeleton. So it'll allow you to create the skeleton, and it'll give you a skeleton there. And so with that skeleton, you can start to set that up here. Okay. You can set that skeleton up and then pull the proportions and make it the way you want, you know. And so I realized that these two rigs are essentially the same, even though I made mine piece by piece. It's still good to know it, but it's just another developing technology that allows you quicker access and do things faster and easy. That's supposedly what technology is supposed to do, until they start spying on you with it. Anyway, but but the point is that you can quickly get stuff done, and it makes it it's automated, and so, oops, get rid of this. So it's good. I like it, and I think it's very useful, and especially when you talk about MotionBuilder. But the problem comes is when you try like those proportions, how they add up to a regular human body. And so if I can show you this here, as in the last animation I did, here is the animation that I did with my test. So I was very happy because I wanted to put in the feet control, which I think I missed the last time when I was testing this years ago. And so I didn't have any feet control. And because I think I just missed the bone, I didn't put the bone in. So I do have the toe controls, but it's below floor level because the feet are so big, which I love them like that because it's not supposed to be realistic, but they are so big that it's hard to control when you come to a regular human form. So motion capture is based on a human form, and a human form, the feet aren't really that big. You know, and I think the reason why I like big feet so much is because, you know, I read Tolkien when I was in high school, not through the high school, but it was just happened to be a book that was there. I picked it up one day, and I read those. I got involved in Lord of the Rings, and so I just always like big feet and stuff. So on cartoon characters, and but they're too big, and because I've changed this character so much, I don't see a problem with changing the design to better have the feet like that. So I am going to change the character and change the feet and make it big, make it smaller. Even though I like the design and the look and the feel and the curves and the stuff that you can get out of this particular size foot, I think it needs to come down. So this was fine as long as I was testing it for keyframing. So with keyframing, it's not a problem because you just position it the way you want and animate it the way you want. But because you're getting motion-driven data from a source that is non-proportional to the rig, even though you can compensate for it and there's ways to do it, I think it would be easier and better. And in general, I think the consensus is that people would like to see, comic fans would like to see smaller, more proportioned kind of more realistic proportions. So that's the story. That's what I'm doing. And so I'm going to try to take this in ZBrush. And then also, I could clean it up. When I was doing this texture mapping and stuff, I was just learning ZBrush. And I wouldn't even do it like this now. I painted all this. I would just sculpt it in. And I also got to get the face rig right. I lost that when I scaled it. So that's the one thing, yeah, I talk about in my DVDs that I did not do, because I just, again, developed this face out of nowhere, and then I decided to put it on the body. I didn't scale this through the whole pipeline. So the way it's not fitting in MotionBuilder and stuff like that, and getting everything scaled and lined up together was very difficult. So I was able to do it, obviously, because I had the animation, but I need to maybe reset the whole thing and get it as much as I can, and hopefully without losing the face rig. Well, I was really pleasantly surprised. I was very pleasantly surprised to have the face rig and actual morph targets in MotionBuilder. So I was really surprised to see like it actually had the morph targets in here, that they were really in here, and I was like, oh my god, that was great. I was like, whoa, this is good. So, so again, for my study for the year, things kind of pushing along. I wanted to be doing this. I'm very glad to do this, and I praise God and I give Him the glory. And I thank you all. Love you all. God bless you all.